killer kidney stone or kidney stone killer. Now, I need to preface this that I am not a professional medical consultant, and it is just an observation that I made from my own experience. So, it was November 2019 on a Sunday. I had real pain in my left lower back area. It was so excruciating that I couldn't actually sit or lie down. In fact, all I could do was just pace up and down this very room for hours on end. Now, with my limited medical knowledge, I knew that my left kidney was around this area, so perhaps it was kidney related. And no matter how much I tried to massage it, it didn't help at all. A few hours then went by, and I suddenly realized that I really need to have a shower. So I got into the shower, I turned the water on, and I directed the spray right onto the pain area. And as if by magic, the pain completely went away. Ah, thank the maker. It literally, it was amazing just to not have that pain for a moment. So needless to say, I spent quite a while in the shower that day. At the same time, I was drinking loads of water because I thought that whatever was going on with my body, at least if I had a lot of water, it would basically flush away whatever wasn't meant to be there. And usually that kind of happens, at least usually that helps anyway. So by the end of the day, well, that evening, the pain was just so bad that I literally had to get a taxi and go to the local hospital. Now, I need to note here that from the pain that I had that day, I feel like I fully understand the sort of pain that women actually go through when they're in labor. I mean, literally, it was like this. It was just like so bad. It was so bad. Like I didn't even know what to do with myself. Anyway, so I was at the hospital, and I gave a urine and a blood test, and then I was basically sent home. I was then to return the following day to do a CT scan, and then to pick up some painkillers, as well as have a consultation to discuss what was found. So needless to say, it was found that indeed I was hosting my own baby kidney stone. It had made its way through the kidney and was entering the bladder. Now they told me, well, they being the urologist, that it was not big enough to have what they called in the industry extracorporeal shock wave lithotripsy. Wow, it sounds intense just saying it. So they basically gave me some tablets for the pain and then sent me home, saying that usually the kidney stone would pass within around 3 to 4 weeks. So while I was at home, I began taking the painkillers, and thankfully the pain had subsided, which gave me time, well, breathing space to basically begin researching kidney stone remedies online. Following up on the labor pain that I mentioned earlier, the reason I brought it up is because the night before, my wife actually told me that the internet told her that the pain of passing a kidney stone was actually more painful than giving birth. Shock horror. Yeah. And I didn't want to go through that. So with that extra gusto of an urge to actually find a remedy to not having to go through a full-blown kidney stone birth, I found there were a lot of people that were talking online about a tea which is native to the Amazonian people, and it's been used as a kidney remedy for hundreds of years. The name of it is called Quebra Pedra, which translates to stone crusher. And this is the bag that I bought. Yeah, like, I'm going to get me some kidney stone crushing Amazon tea from amazon.co.uk, of all places. I ordered it Prime, so I had to wait only 1 day. Woohoo! In the meantime, the painkillers were masking the pain, so I didn't feel I basically didn't feel the pain, which was good. However, I was having to chain take the painkillers because the pain was just constant. I got to the point where I'd basically taken my daily rations of them, and so the pain came back after the tablets are worn off. So I decided to go for another miracle hot shower, and again I found that the spraying the water directly onto the painful area, the pain just immediately went away. Now, I still hadn't eaten anything of great substance because I'd kept bringing up whatever I tried to eat. So I decided to only focus on eating fruit, almost like doing a detox. And my body seemed to be happy with just having fruit, so I decided to continue that while I was giving my body time to just deal with what was going on in the kidney department. I also found that it was claimed that cider vinegar could help with kidney stones as well. So I bought some organic and containing the all-important mother. Also, my brother-in-law, he's a doctor, and he recommended that I have a warm beer on an empty stomach in the morning, because he did it some time ago when he had a kidney stone, and I think what must have happened is it must have caused so much pressure that it just basically pushed the kidney stone right out. He said it was quite painful, but worth it. I'm not so sure that, I was really into the whole, pushing it out. I felt it was a little bit too abrasive, and I was again trying to avoid the whole giving birth to a kidney stone thing. So anyway, on the next day, being Tuesday, the tea arrived, and I had some straight away. It's got a very earthy taste to it. But considering I don't usually have tea without milk, I had it on its own, and it was actually quite nice. So I had that one, and it was interesting because it definitely seemed to help reduce the pain as well, which was great. So it seemed to be working. So week one went by, and I was basically, well, it was at a point where I was religiously taking cider vinegar first thing in the morning, followed by the stone crusher tea with a teaspoon of manuka honey for a touch of sweetness, and then throughout the day I was basically just eating fruit. I was avoiding salt, and I was drinking loads of water. In fact, of all the tips, I think the most important thing that I was told was to basically drink lots and lots of water. What it does is it basically helps keep enough fluid in the body to prevent the buildup of the crystals, which ultimately form into kidney stones. So in my case, it would have actually helped them to grow. So yeah, the water was good for preventing that to happen. So the two most common types of kidney stones found in men are made of calcium and uric acid. And so I was basically trying to avoid things like potato chips, peanuts, chocolate, beets, spinach, because these products can help to create or help grow calcium stones. As I was only eating fruit, and uric acid develops when there is too much acidity in the urine, which is caused by purine, which is a colorless substance found in animal proteins such as fish, shellfish, and meats. I definitely wouldn't have any of that anyway, so it wouldn't be a problem. Now, the combination of all of these things definitely helped to reduce the pain, and so I was pretty much off the painkillers, which was really good. I mean, usually I don't really like taking medication, and particularly painkillers. So coming into week two, I thought, hell, I'll just give the morning beer a go, and wow, like literally, it was the worst thing I've ever done. Well, at least the worst thing I can think of at the moment. Like the beer, I mean, it's not the best tasting drink, even when it's cold, but having a warm foamy beer in the morning was just awful. Anyway, I reluctantly managed to finish the can. I smacked it on my head and waited and waited and waited. Nothing happened. Like, after going through all of that, nothing freaking happened at all, which was very disappointing. Because I thought that maybe it might be small enough and it would just go out, but obviously nothing happened. So at least to that degree, I could have then checked it off my remedy list that doesn't actually work. So week 3 came along, and by this point, I was beginning to believe that perhaps the kidney stone had had enough and jumped ship. The only time that I think it may have happened was when I went to the loo. I was having a whiz or a piss or a wee, and shortly afterwards there was an ever so slightly mild sting, and I thought that maybe that was it, but I didn't see anything come out. So if it was that, it must have shrunk a lot over the past 2 weeks. So that was week 3, and then at the end of week 4, I went back to the hospital and I had another CT scan done. That was basically Christmas Eve, and I was told that my kidney stone had left the body and was off to kidney stone heaven. So I was really happy that it all kind of handled itself. So I think, to basically sum up, all I can say is that fortunately I didn't go through a kidney stone birth and the pain that was associated with it, which was really good. So I would like to accredit that to the kidney stone crusher tea that I had, the miracle showers, the cider vinegar, the lots and lots of water, the 1 week fruit only diet, and not forgetting the awesome people, the folk at the hospital and the NHS. So I truly hope none of you have to go through the pain of kidney stones, but if you do, perhaps you can try some of the things that I tried and see if it helps. Again, obviously a medical doctor is the recommended person to speak to about professional advice, but try these and maybe it might help you. So happy kidney stone free lives to you all.